Well, I'm back with George Wunderlich, and George was so nice about a few years ago, or a year ago or so, to spend time with us.
It seems like a lifetime, doesn't it?
It actually does. So many things have happened, and that's what's the importance of the United States Army Medical Department Museum.
How's that for a mouthful?
That is definitely a mouthful. So, but you know, George, I want you to share some of the information about, first of all, I'll look back behind us and we'll talk about some of the things in the past, the present, the future. How does this museum relate to Memorial Day to you and to so many people who don't know about this museum? But tell us, help our community know more about this museum.
So when we think of Memorial Day, and I want to first thank you for calling it correctly, because, oh my gosh, we forget. Everybody runs around on Memorial Day and thanks all the veterans. And of course the veterans say thank you because they don't want to be embarrassed, but what they should be saying is, I'm not dead yet. Yeah. That's Armed Forces Day. If we're going to remember the veterans, the guys who served long ago or in the past, that's Veterans Day. But Memorial Day is specific to the dead. Now, when I look at those and whether they died in combat, whether they died of battle wounds or they died of disease, or whether they died 25 years after the war and it went on to a long career, those folks all had an influence on our country and the outcome of history. I look at the people that drove these ambulances, that carried this equipment, and to me it is a sacred trust, truly, that I get to preserve this not only for the American people, but for the students who come after them, because the one thing I have to remind them all is, these are now all your family members. They're your ancestors. And everything they did, good, bad, or ugly, is part of your history now too. And what we learn from these people can either push us ahead or take us backwards. What's it gonna be? And that decision is yours. The best thing we can do is to make available to the people who want to learn, this is the history of it, and make sure that the people who are in charge of the medical care and that are doing the innovations have all of the history at their fingertips in order to know how to press forward. What I need to show you is that the designers of this device were looking at every other invention from the 1920s and the 1930s that used electricity, that used electric motors, that used different types of circuitry, seals, new types of rubber material that were being developed at that time for the gasketing. And they were taking all of that history into consideration when they're developing this. What these professionals need to know is there's a place that collects all that so that they can say, okay, I've been given a problem X. Is there a historical scenario that's similar that I might be able to learn something from? They said, give that to us. You don't have to be a historian. You came here to be a doctor, a nurse, a battlefield medic, a respiratory or physical therapist. Let us do the work. We'll find the history. You then analyze it and decide what good will this do me in moving ahead.
That's the beauty of America. George, let me ask you this question. As far as the museum growing and getting more and more items for the next generation to have, are you working on things like that? Or
oh, absolutely.
Things that are coming?
The Army's been going through a culling process. Do we know who this belonged to? Is there a good story? Is there something to be learned by that story? Is this a one of a kind? Is this unusual? What it allows me to do now is to say, okay, I have a UH-1 from Vietnam out here. I have 2 Korean War helicopters. I need the current Black Hawk. I need them, or UH-60, because my students need to see the jump in technology from the end of the UE to this new model, and why was this a progression forward? What do you need to know about that progression? And what were the mistakes we made in designing it and had to go back and redesign? This is my gift back, hopefully, to those who did lose their lives and to those who served, to make sure that this is as preserved and kept in the best possible condition, and that it is used as a teaching tool to carry on the life-saving mission of everyone who's ever been in the medical department from day one until right now.
You are a gift, this museum is a gift, And Memorial Day is something we need to always and never forget.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is one of my favorite times to be working in here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
At Mission Park and Mission Park Cares, we'd like to bring you more programming each and every week.
Yes, just subscribe here or catch us every Sunday morning on Fox 29.
And remember, at Mission Park, it's our mission to care.